everyone, welcome. Today we're going to share our September net worth update and our progress from a negative net worth to hopefully our journey to $1 million. There's two reasons that we share these net worth updates. The first is that we think it's an important metric to track our progress. It lets us know where we are, maybe where we're needing to ramp up a little bit, and just our overall goal to get to financial independence. The second reason that we share is that we want to be transparent in our journey. We began this journey in a place of hopelessness. We had over $1 million in debt. We had a negative net worth of $350,000 negative, and we had no savings, no retirement. This was all at the age of 46, which was just about almost 5 years ago now. It goes without saying that our situation was dire. We found hope when we found the financial independence community. And since we found that community in 2016, we've been working really, really hard to change our financial circumstances. We want to show others who are maybe in the situation that we were, who are maybe older in life or maybe don't know a lot about money, didn't have any kind of financial education. We want to help those people so that they can start today saving more, spending less, and building wealth, all on the journey to financial independence. I am Wendy, and I am the founder of the House of Buy podcast, and I am so glad you are here. If you haven't subscribed, would you take a minute to do so? Smash that like button. We would be grateful and thankful if you did. Let's get to the numbers. All right, the first thing that we're going to take a look at is our assets. As you can see here, starting in May of 2017, really the only asset that we had was our house at the time. We had just begun saving for my husband's retirement the year before in 2016, but as you can see, we did not have anything else. If there was some sort of emergency, some sort of catastrophe, we would have really been in a very bad situation. Since then, we have sold that house. We used the sale of that house as one of our ways to expedite our progress. We did a couple things with that money. We had already been working really hard to pay off our consumer debt, but we used some of the sale of the house to finish that up to become consumer debt free. The other thing that we did with that money is that we put it into investment properties so that we could start gaining passive income or business income with the rental properties. In an upcoming video, you'll see our passive income update where I talk a little bit more about our rental properties and how that plays into our overall goal to financial independence. We have 5 rental properties in the Midwest. Right now, we have those valued at about $175,000. That has not changed from September to August. We had a slight decrease from August to September. That is due to having to do a repair in one of the properties. We have a tree that is dropping branches and we need to get it trimmed. So we're taking a little bit of money out of savings to take care of that. My retirement has had a small increase. That's not the primary focus of our savings right now, but I do want to put a little bit in there every month just to keep that going. Now, here's where it gets exciting. We are at the point where our compound interest and time is starting to do its work. As you can see, Kurt's retirement went up from $138,000 to $142,000. A big chunk of that is simply growth. And so it's really exciting to see that number go up so significantly over and above what we're contributing with our own payroll deductions. So that brings our total assets to $347,279. That's an increase of 1 month of $2,500. I am super excited about that. Anytime it's a positive, I get excited. What we don't include in our assets and what we track are things like our vehicles and other personal property. I only track our cash and cash equivalents. Let's take a look now at our liabilities. All right, so here is where we get into the over $1 million worth of debt that we started with in 2016. I only started tracking in May of 2017, so that's why it says 2017 here. The biggest portion of that was our mortgage on our house. It was $550,000. We did not have any rental properties at that time. We had secured debt, so that's things like vehicles, and that was almost $70,000. I'm going to skip the student loans and go down to this old IRS debt. We had some old IRS debt from when I was practicing as an attorney, when I had first gone out on my own. We did not do a very good job of estimating how much we owed, and it took us about 3 years to finally hire a CPA and figure it out. And so that debt is hanging out there. We've been paying on it for quite some time. It was actually much larger than the $53,000, but that's where we started in 2017. Now to address our student loans. We both have significant amount of student loans. Mine was over $240,000 and my husband's was over $100,000. That mine includes both my undergraduate as well as law school, and then my husband's includes both his undergraduate degrees as well as his master's program. As you can see, from last month to September, we've had a small decrease. This is a mortgage on our 5th property. It's the only note on that property. It's gone down just a little bit. The payments are really small on it, so that's why it doesn't go down very much. But we'll be paying that off eventually. We've just got a couple other things that we want to do first before we start to pay that off. The other 4 properties are on a commercial note, and that is also going down, but it's going down slowly. But we're still pleased with the positive progress. Again, I'm going to skip the student loans for just a second and go to the IRS debt. This was a pleasant surprise for us. As you can see, in August, the balance was down to only $11,000, which I was already super excited about, because from where we started to now, I really felt like we would be able to pay that off in less than a year. So I'm super excited to see the progress on that. When I went to our IRS account to check on the balance to get an update, a big portion of it was gone. And so I went and did some research and discovered, which I'm surprised I didn't know this, but after 10 years, at least according to what I found on the IRS webpage, that after 10 years, the statute of limitations has run on old taxes and it's written off as a loss. Now, it did list some circumstances where that time period could get extended, but it appears as though it's gone in our circumstance, which brings that down to only $8,121. That brings the total reduction in our liabilities down to $3,383. That's a positive. Super, super, super excited about that. That has been hanging around our necks for a really, really long time. And so it's really good to see that finally may be on its last legs. All right, now to address our student loan debt. I've done a couple videos about how we are taking care of our student loan debt. We're treating them both differently. Mine, we are going to slow pay for as long as possible, as long as my income is really, really low, the payment is really, really low, and it makes more financial sense for us to do it this way, to pay as little of a payment as possible for as long as possible until we get to the time period of 20 to 25 years for that to be eligible to be forgiven. There's nothing special about that. That's the way it is with all of the federal loans. I'm not doing anything that is not within the rules. I'm complying with the rules in accordance with what our income is. So get a lot of flack sometimes from people saying that, we're doing something wrong, but we're not doing anything outside the scope of what is allowed. So for my husband, he's in the PSLF program, and that's how we're going to take care of his student loan obligations. But overall, for for the month of September, I'm super excited to see a positive of over $3,300. Now let's take a look at our overall change in net worth. All right, as you can see, when I started tracking in 2017, we were almost at $350,000 in the negative. If we move on ahead to last month, we are still in the negative. We're trying to get to zero as quickly as possible. However, as you can see, we have changed our negative net worth in under 5 years to only $103,000, which is still a lot, but we've made a progress of over $250,000, which I am just extremely proud of. And I hope that it provides some of you out there with hope too, that you can change your financial circumstances no matter how deep you are in debt and no matter how far along you are in life. It is never too late to change things around and start making good financial decisions. This bottom metric here is something that I've added that's new. I really wanted to show the power of time, consistency, and compound interest. And so what this shows here is that in October of 2020, so about a year ago, we saved our first $100,000 in cash, not our overall net worth, but our cash or cash equivalents. So not our rental properties, not anything like cars or anything like that. This is purely our cash and cash equivalents. So our retirement accounts, our investment accounts, and our savings accounts. We achieved $100,000 in October. It took us 4 years and 10 months to get to that point. So almost 5 years. But here's the really exciting thing. Our next goal is to get to $200,000 in cash equivalents. We are under $30,000 to get there. And I really, really believe that we might be able to get there in just a few more months if we work really hard to do it. And that's going to be exciting. And it will have taken us just a little over a year to get to our next $100,000. What's going to be even more exciting is to see how quickly then it takes to get to 300,000, 400,000, 500,000, and on to $1 million. I believe it's possible, and I'm so excited to keep watching that metric because that is the one that really, really shows the magic of it all and puts it all together. All right, guys, well, I hope that you find these helpful. As I said, we try to be very transparent. We've made lots and lots of mistakes, but I hope that you can see again that it's possible to change things around if you're just willing to put in the effort. You all have the capabilities to get educated about your money. And that's where your power is. All right, guys, if you haven't subscribed, would you take a minute to do so? Hit that like button, let YouTube algorithm know that you enjoy what we're doing here, and we'll see you back here again next time. Take care, guys. Bye.